Jill, what good timing. A moment ago I heard someone's voice coming from this hole. Let's go together since it's dark and we can't see very well.
Now there is one more set of choices you can make here, and it does change things a little bit. First, we're going to say no to teaming up with Barry.
Barry,
Sure, it may be dangerous. I'll go, even if I have to go by myself. Will you be waiting here, Jill?
And we're also going to say that we're going to stay behind.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm going now.
Now, interestingly, you see Barry take the same path as if you said no to teaming up, but no to staying behind. However, if you move forward, there's no gunshot, no sound of a struggle. If you follow through this door where you'd normally go to rescue Barry from the hunter, there's no hunter, no Barry, nothing. From here on, you encounter Enrico by yourself, but you do not find Barry dying at the ladder. You don't encounter Barry again until the elevator scene in the lab. Alright, so here we are back at the end of the lab, about to go down in the elevator.
Jill! Jill! You're here too!
Yes, you're here too?
Look, I lost my way.
Let's get going.
So this scene pretty much plays out the same way as it did in the LP. Barry catches up to us here in the lab and we go down in the elevator together, go through the hallway, and meet up again with Wesker.
Wesker?
You did a fine job, Barry.
Just as I thought.
I think you should stay away from Barry, Jill.
This scene too plays out exactly the same as it did in the LP. Wesker tells Barry to go up on the ground and wait for him, and then tells us all the details of his plan. There is, however, a change at the end, so we'll skip ahead to that.
This world very soon, Jill.
So you're going to steal all the research?
Better yet, I'm going to show you the tyrant.
So despite the fact that Barry is still alive, he did not come back to rescue us. Essentially, the decisions we made in the tunnel show the game that you really do not trust Barry, and that lack of trust is not exactly repaid. From here on out, though, the scene here in the lab goes the same. Tyrant breaks out, kills Wesker, Wesker drops the lab key, we beat Tyrant, we leave. We'll come back once we get to the final effects of the decisions we've made. Alright, so it's time to get out of the lab, but as you can hear, there's no triggering system since Wesker was killed by Tyrant. I did go ahead and rescue Chris. You can witness the following scene just as Jill, but it doesn't really cause any major changes to the dialogue. All it does is omit Chris's reactions to things, or Jill's interactions with Chris. So, let's see what happened to Barry.
Jill! Hi, Jill. It's you.
Barry?
I'm really embarrassed to see you now. Just leave me. Go quickly.
It's over, Barry. Wesker's dead.
Is that so? Jill, will you do me a favor? This is my last wish. Please give this photo to my family. Will you?
Sure.
Forgive me, Jill. My God!
So once again you get Barry's picture. The photo itself and the writing on the back are exactly the same, no changes here.
Let's get going, Chris. We can't stop.
From here on out, everything plays exactly the same as either the bad or the worst ending, depending on whether or not you rescued Chris. Also, once you get to that final hallway with the elevator, if you're bringing Chris with you, well, he gets over his grief really fast to go ahead and deliver the ladies first line. Also, for anybody wondering, if you come in here as Jill by herself and have the scene with Barry, then go back and rescue Chris, he shows no reaction whatsoever to Barry's body in the corner there. He just goes back to his usual, "let's go" line. So there is one more major I don't trust Barry decision you can make that will lead to this outcome for Barry, where he doesn't come back to rescue you. It's a bit earlier in the game though, and doesn't have a particular cutscene associated with it. That is, to not wait for Barry to drop another rope after you go down the hole that Yawn makes in the floor. Basically all you have to do is, once Barry leaves to go get another rope, just don't wait around. Immediately activate the switch on the tombstone and go down the ladder that's revealed. Don't go back to that room. I want to say it's possible that he can still drop the rope if you go back there, so just steer clear just to be on the safe side. If you do this, you will not encounter Barry in the underground tunnels. You won't find him again until the elevator scene at the lab. And Jill has some choice words for him.
Jill! I was looking for you.
Barry.
Jill, don't be angry. I wanted you to wait for me.
Barry, don't screw up again like you did when you dropped that rope.
Wow, Jill. Angry as she was, I almost wondered if we were going to learn Barry's middle name for a moment there. From there on out, however, everything plays out the exact same as it did with Barry dying in the lab. With everything tied up, though, as far as endings and variants, now we can go back to the start of the game for a few extra scenes that we missed earlier on. So the first new scene we'll be looking at is right here at the start of the game. Instead of immediately going to check out the blood that we hope is not Chris's, we can leave back for the main hall again.
Investigate if you hear any gunfire.
And we're automatically sent right back in. We can, however, try and go back out yet again.
Lost courage already? It's not like you.
If you try again, there may be more here worth investigating. So at this point we go and check out the blood with Barry.
What? What is this?
What is it?
Blood. Jill, see if you can find any other clues. I'll be examining this. Hope this is not Chris's blood.
Now hey, strange blood. That seems like something we really ought to report to Wesker.
Who is it?
Hey, you! Stop! Run, Jill! He's insane! What the hell?
Let's report this to Wesker.
So yeah, the first zombie, it came right out here without us going to check it out. We can't immediately go in there to see what happened. We do have to go out and try and report this to Wesker, who is of course missing.
Wesker! Help me look for him, Jill. And don't leave this hall for the time being.
So as usual, just run behind the stairs.
Find anything, Jill?
Nothing. What is this all about? I can't.
Listen, if something happens, let's meet up in this hall. This time I'll be there.
So with those scenes taken care of, we can go back and find out what happened with that zombie. After all, we didn't go in and interrupt his meal. So if we go and check out Kenneth's body, there's a lot less Kenneth here than there was before. Still the same lines, but he's missing his legs. So basically the zombie had its fill. The problem? You do not get the 2 ammo clips that Kenneth had, so I guess the zombie ate those too? Okay. So yeah, generally these are not scenes you really want to see unless you just haven't seen them before. For actual gameplay purposes, not only do those scenes take up a lot of time, but it also means less ammo for you. This does, however, lead into the next scene that we want to see. This one is a bit on the picky side. You have to enter into the main hallway from very specific routes. I'm not sure which ones exactly, but that happens to be one of them. Also, I guess in the LP we never actually went up these stairs. Lovely carpeting. So, we're gonna go try and get the bazooka.
Jill! Don't scare me.
That's what I was going to say. Aren't you supposed to be going over the first floor, Barry?
Yeah, you're right. But just take a look at this. It's Forrest. Oh my God.
It's awful.
The voice acting? Well, yes.
I'm going to find out what caused Forrest's death. It looks like he was killed by a crow or something. Can you look around the first floor, Jill?
Okay.
Hey, Jill. This must have been Forrest's. You don't have a weapon. Take this with you.
And so Barry just tries to automatically give you the bazooka. If you come up here with full inventory, this part of the scene is skipped and it'll just leave the bazooka where it is so you can get it later. You cannot permanently miss it. Now, the reason I wanted to specify that is something else that I went and looked at. If you have the scene where Barry gives you the acid rounds, but you go in there with full inventory, that part of the scene is skipped as well. He does not give you the acid rounds. He also does not leave them anywhere for you to pick them up later. So, yeah. As far as scenes, this is another one that generally you don't really want. It does prevent the crows from spawning out here, but, I mean, you don't really have to trigger them anyway. However, this does prevent you from getting the acid rounds from Barry later on, and it also prevents you from getting the shotgun early. So having that scene with Barry on the balcony, like I said, it prevents you from getting the shotgun early. You can go ahead and grab it, but there's a problem. If you come out this way, obviously we know there's a ceiling trap. And the exit is locked. However, if Barry is not going to rescue you, the way back in is not locked. However, it won't move at all. That's because the trap is completely closed. In order to reset it, you have to examine this and put the shotgun back. That'll let you back out. The only way you're getting the shotgun out of here is if you bring in the broken shotgun, which is something we're going to see in Chris's game. After all, that's his only option. If, on the other hand, you come out here and just feel like hanging around, if you just want to see where they're going with this, then just dance a bit. Yeah, the results are pretty predictable. So something someone did ask about, what happens if you get this puzzle wrong? We'll just go straight for death. And Angry Birds! Yeah, if you do this puzzle wrong, you upset the birds. You can actually shoot them if you have the ammo to spare, but since this doesn't go ahead and open the painting and let you get the reward, this isn't a time-saving measure by any stretch of the imagination. If you want, you can leave this room in order to reset the birds, but that's about it. You will still have to solve this puzzle legitimately. Also, for those wondering, the birds do a lot of damage quickly. Yeah, there we go. Lesson learned. Don't upset the birds. So, as long as we're making monsters angry, angry vines! The vines can whip at you, or they can strangle you. Right about here, there's one that'll do that. There we go. The vines do very minimal damage, but unlike the ones out in the guardhouse, this one can actually kill you given long enough. So, yeah, not a plant to be trifled with. If you got the scene on the balcony with Barry, it triggers another scene here, and it's a bit weird considering we still have to unlock this door.
Is that you, Jill?
What's going on? How come you look so scared?
Look at this.
And so Barry gives us the researcher's will. However, it's a letter. The top of the letter is missing. The remaining says, "Yes, I'm infected. I did everything I could, but I could only delay the progress by a few days. The most frightening thing is that I forget more about you by the day, so I chose a peaceful death rather than becoming the living dead. Within an hour, I will have entered my eternal sleep. I do hope you'll understand my decision. Goodbye and forever yours, Martin Crackhorn. So, it is the same note that we got earlier, but only part of it. Everything that implicates Umbrella in creating the virus, as well as the slight implication of Wesker in this, has been removed.
What do you think of it?
I've been thinking something is wrong with this house.
Right.
Hey, what is this? There's a page missing.
Yeah, I thought about that too. Perhaps that was the most important part.
So several things about this seem pretty suspicious. How Barry was in here despite that armor door being locked, and the fact that he was the only one in here with the document. Now, there is a third way that this room can go. Once you get the armor key, if you go and deal with Richard first before coming in here, Barry won't be in here, but the document will have been tampered with.